Hi, folks. Today, in this quick session, we will learn about product management. Typically, it's a product development companies who used product management as a role. But these days, you see this role coming up in various other companies, even in service companies and in banks, etc. So, let's look at what is actually a product manager role and what is product management. So, to begin with, what are the products that we're talking about? Well, a product could be a mobile app or a software that a startup founder has launched, or in fact, even an internal solution within an enterprise. A product in our parlance is basically a software solution which is answering the customer problem or a business need. Now, let's ask $1 million question: who is in fact a product manager? Well, think about a product manager as a CEO of a product. Basically, he's the big boss who is responsible for the success or the failure of the product. He brings in basically the resources, the people, the strategy, everything together and pulls them all to deliver a hit product or a failure product in the market. Now, let's discuss in detail as to what his functions are. First and the foremost, the most important, the main function of a product manager is to have research on his users. Basically, to understand where his users are, what is their typical behavior, what is their implicit need, what is their explicit need, in which geographies are they located, what is their day to day behavior on using a particular application, what is their problem? In fact, is there a problem that we are really trying to solve worth it? Will somebody even pay for that product? We generally do this feasibility test to see the intersection of the user need, the technical feasibility, and the business viability or feasibility of such a problem and a solution. Well, now let's say that you've established that a product is typically or is in fact needed. What do you do next? Well, as a product manager, the next thing that you do is in fact plan the roadmap. This is basically ruthlessly prioritizing the needs as to how will your product look and what will be the MVP features of the product. Typically, when a product is launched, it's not a fully packed product with all the features and all the answers to a particular problem. There are some key valuable features which a product manager decides will be a part of the MVP or the minimum viable product. This is basically done by assessing what are the user needs, what is the most valuable feature that a product will bring to its users, on the basis of which it is the roadmap is finalized and the features which are most valuable are prioritized, and for the rest of them a backlog is created. The next step is the actual product development. This is the step where the coders actually develop or start writing the code, developing the features of a product. What's important here is to know that most often than not, IT teams and the product management teams do not share a common hierarchy. Uh, in fact, the coders or the developers don't even report to a product manager. So, as a product manager, you have to exert an influence even though they're not your direct reportees. Your knowledge on the product, your logic on a particular feature really helps in that case a product development team to exert some influence on them and to make the desirable feature of your product come out. The next step is on the release. It is actually the meat of the game where the product is launched in the market with its MVP features. The product manager also works with the sales team, the relationship managers, to ensure that the product is pitched to the right teams and the right takers. While the product is released, please do note that it's also the responsibility of the product manager to drive the customer adoption and engagement. It's important to know whether the users that we aimed are in fact using our product or not. It's equally important to define some KPIs before the release of the product so that you can actually call out some key metrics after the product is launched. such as what are the various features that are being used again and again, which features are not being used at all, which geographies are reacting the best to the product, so on and so forth. Finally, it is the reiteration. Mind you that a PM job is not complete until the substantial part of the releases are done and the product has assumed a certain level of maturity. It's the job of the product manager to continuously seek feedback from the users, from the various geographies that the market, that the product is in, understand what is the competition, how is the market going, and then keep on enhancing the product. So these are primarily the roles of a product manager. We hope that you're able to learn slightly at least about product management through this video. Thanks a lot.